What's unfolding in Rome right now isn't just another Masters 1000 stop on the calendar. On one side, a man is standing at the doorstep of a record that only one player in tennis history has ever achieved. On the other, a queen who'd been wobbling for over a year suddenly looks like her old self again. Today, we're breaking down both of these storylines. Plus one more massive matchup coming Tuesday that could shape the entire bottom half of the draw. Here's everything happening in Rome. Let's start with Jannik Sinner. On Monday, Sinner dismantled Alexei Popyrin. 6-2, 6-love. Read that score again. 6-2, 6-love. On a Masters 1000 stage, in front of his home crowd, he bageled an opponent in a single set. Popyrin looked like a man dropped onto an unpaved road. He coughed up 21 unforced errors. Sinner committed 12. But the scarier number isn't the scoreline. It's that this was Sinner's 30th consecutive Masters 1000 victory. He hasn't lost a match at this level since Shanghai in October last year. And what Sinner is chasing right now isn't just a trophy. It's the career Golden Masters. Winning all 9 ATP Masters 1000 events at least once in your career. The only man in tennis history to ever do is Novak Djokovic. The only trophy missing from Sinner's collection is this one. If he wins this week, he joins Djokovic in that club at 24 years old. And there's a bonus prize on top of it. If Sinner wins Rome, he becomes the first Italian man to win the Rome singles title since Adriano Panatta in 1976. A 50-year drought. 50 years. That's why the Italian fans are absolutely losing their minds right now. Up next is fellow Italian Andrea Pellegrino. Honestly, not a likely threat. If Sinner advances to the quarterfinals, he'll face either Andrei Rublev or Nicolas Basilashvili. And if he gets through the quarters and the semis, Sinner will break Djokovic's all-time record of 31 consecutive Masters wins. So every single match from here is a step into the history books. Here's what the fans are saying. Popyrin didn't do anything wrong. Sinner is just playing tennis on a different planet. The two sides of the court looked like different sports. Italian fan. 1976. My parents weren't even born yet. If Jannik pulls this off, it'll be one of the biggest moments in Italian sports history, period. Italian fan. Honestly, I don't see who's going to stop him in the final. Alcaraz is hurt. Djokovic is barely playing. Unless Sinner beats himself, the trophy is his. British fan. Now let's flip to the other side of the court. Iga Swiatek. You remember where Swiatek has been last year, right? After her Roland Garros title in 2024, she hadn't won a single tournament on clay. The proud Polish star, a clay court queen, went over a year without lifting a clay trophy. She hadn't gotten past the quarterfinals at any event in 2025's tail end into 2026. She split from coach Wim Fissette and brought in Francisco Roig in April. The same coach who'd worked with Rafael Nadal, Matteo Berrettini, and Emma Raducanu. And on Monday, she faced Naomi Osaka. The result? 6-2, 6-1. 1 hour and 22 minutes. Forget the stats for a second. It was the vibe on court. The swagger was back. She broke Osaka in the first game. Got pulled back to 2-2 briefly. And then it was vintage Swiatek. 4 straight games to close out the first set. Second set was essentially a one-way street. Here's another detail worth flagging. Before this tournament, Swiatek trained at Rafael Nadal's academy in Spain, with Nadal himself watching on. Given her new coach Roig's history with Nadal, that's not a coincidence. Her quarterfinal opponent will be 5th seed Jessica Pegula. Here's how fans are reading it. This is the IGA we knew. New coach had been in for 1 month, and you can already see the difference. The Nadal influence is real. Polish fan. Osaka didn't play poorly. When peak Swiatek shows up on clay, nobody beats her. The scary part is that version is back. American fan. Honestly, I feel bad for Naomi. She just lost to Sabalenka, and the next round she draws IGA. Her interview line about life being a little cruel wasn't a joke. Japanese fan. Putting Swiatek back at the top of my Roland Garros picks. If she's playing like this, nobody on tour can stop her. French fan. For context, Osaka had reacted to learning about the matchup with a wry quote. "Oh my God, life is a little cruel." Brutal as the result was for her, there's a silver lining. The round before, Osaka had beaten Daria Kasatkina, a top 10 player, for the first time in nearly a year. Whether that flicker is the start of a real clay court comeback for Osaka is something we'll have to watch over the next few tournaments. Quick stop on Coco Gauff before we move on. Gauff genuinely escaped death on Monday. She dropped the first set in a tiebreak against world number 17 Iga Swiatek, then faced match point in the second. Match point. From there, she clawed back to win 5-7, 7-5, 6-2. And here's the wild part. This is her second straight comeback win. In the previous round, she'd come back from 2 breaks down against Solana Sierra. So Gauff has now been twice resurrected at this tournament. Her quarterfinal opponent is 8th seed Mira Andreeva. And that's going to be a serious test. If Coco drops the first set like that, normally that's it. But this kid just keeps finding a way back. The mental toughness is on a different level. American fan. One more matchup to flag before we close. Tuesday's Alexander Zverev versus Luciano Darderi. With Alcaraz sidelined by a wrist injury, Zverev is essentially the second best clay court player in the world right now. He can't seem to beat Sinner. But against everyone else, he's been brilliant. 22 wins in his last 23 matches against non-Sinner opponents. He made the Madrid final. He's won Rome twice before, in 2017 and 2024. In this tournament so far, he's cruised through Altmaier and blocks in straight sets. His opponent, Luciano Darderi, is the home crowd underdog, riding momentum from a tough 3-set win over Tommy Paul. But the head-to-head is 0-1. And in their only previous meeting at this exact tournament in 2024, Zverev took it 7-6-3, 6-2. Simulation models give Zverev a 76% chance of winning. Whether Darderi can pull a shocker with the home crowd behind him, or whether Zverev confirms himself once again as Sinner's most realistic challenger. That's what makes Tuesday must-watch. Look at the draw, and the obvious question hangs in the air. If Sinner and Zverev meet in the final, it's a rematch of the Madrid final. And realistically, Zverev is the only man on tour who looks like he could end Sinner's 30-match master streak. But with Sinner playing in front of his home crowd, chasing a 50-year-old historical record, with the Golden Masters on the line, the momentum is heavily one direction. So what's your read? Does Sinner actually complete the Golden Masters this week in Rome? Is Swiatek's comeback the real deal? Or are you waiting for more evidence before calling it? And if the final ends up being a Sinner-Zverev rematch, which side are you taking? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.